Olá, tudo bem? I'm Emma from Portuguese Language Lessons. This video goes with Lesson 8 of the Level 2B course. I'm going to talk you through the lesson today, which goes with the PDF that looks like this. The theme today is revision and going to the train station. Okay, we're going to start off with some listening here. So here we've got a short diálogo with the funcionário and Raquel and Sylvia. They're buying tickets at the Estação dos Comboios. There's a few words missing, so listen and see if you can fill in the gaps. Remember, you can listen as much as you want, okay?
Diga,
A que horas é o próximo comboio para o Porto?
às 7h45.
Daqui a 10 minutos. Então são 2 bilhetes em segunda classe, faz favor. Ida e volta.
Quando é o regresso?
Amanhã. A que horas parte o último comboio para Lisboa?
Às 10h45.
Pode ser esse, sim.
São 94,40 €.
Faz favor. Qual é a linha?
Parte da linha 6.
Obrigada. Sílvia, rápido. Despacha-te. É a carruagem 4. Lugares 81 e 83.
Okay, to the bone. So there's quite a lot of numbers there. Are you okay with all those numbers? Remember, for the time, you always use the feminine. So 22 horas, yeah? Okay. And when you book a ticket on a fast train, you often have your seat and carruagem carriage number there that you need to get the correct one. Okay. Okay then, so now let's do some reviews. So the preposições, always a tricky subject, prepositions, always the most difficult area when you're learning. The trick really is to really only consider the prepositions in specific situations. So when you've got here, we're talking about prepositions of movement, so we need to think exactly what we're talking about. So here I've divided up into 3 different situations. The first one, talking about going to a place, often with verbs like ir, vir, voltar, and we could either use a or para. And in Portuguese, the distinction is completely different to English. We don't divide it up. We just say go to, come to, come back to. We don't divide it up like the Portuguese do. So here it's about your intention. If you're planning to make a two-way trip and come back relatively soon, you use a. Vou a casa almoçar. I'm going home to have lunch. Vamos a Londres de férias. We're going to London on holiday. If our intention is to make a one-way trip and not come back so soon, we use para. And this is also for going to work and school at the beginning of the day, because your intention is to go and remain. Vou para casa às 7. So I'm going home at 7. So your intention is to stay at home. Vou para Londres estudar 2 anos. I'm going to London to study for 2 years. So you're going to go there and remain there. Okay. Then another situation, if you're thinking and talking about by or on how you're going to travel, not a specific vehicle, just talking generally. I'm going by bus, I'm going by plane, I'm going on foot, etc. I'm either going to choose de or a depending on the type of transport I'm choosing. Normally it's de comboio, de carro, de autocarro, de táxi, de barco, de avião, de caminhoneta, coach, de elétrico, tram, de bicicleta. For example, vamos de autocarro, ele vai de avião. However, if I want to say on foot, on horseback, hitchhiking, or getting a lift, it's with a. So a pé, a cavalo, a boleia. Vou a pé, elas vão a boleia. I'm going on foot, they're hitchhiking or getting a lift. Okay, so that's just talking generally about how you're traveling. However, if you want to be specific and say which vehicle you're traveling in or on, on, you use either nu or na. Okay, so if I want to say on the night train, on the number 10 bus, in my brother's car, on my bicycle, I'm going to always use either nu or na. And this time it just depends whether the thing I'm talking about is masculine or feminine. So, no comboio da night, no autocarro número 10, no carro do meu irmão. Most of them are masculine. And for the feminine, I can only think of na minha bicicleta. Okay? Okay, so I hope that helps you. Really always think exactly what you're meaning rather than translating from English to Portuguese. Yeah. A little note here about using a is when we're using a meaning to and it's followed by the, we must make contractions, new words. So there's going to be 4 variations, isn't there? Because we've got 4 variations of the word the. U, us, a, as. So we get uns, as. Okay? Okay then. So that's a review of that. Now let's review talking about the future. So when we're talking about any actions in Portuguese, we must consider who is doing the action and we modify the verb ending accordingly. So let's look at some common patterns. If I want to say I eat, I study, I'm going to eat, I'm going to study, I'm generally seeing an O on the end of my action. Or, very similar. Como, estudo, vou comer, vou estudar. If I want to say you, treating someone as two, you eat, you study, you are going to eat, you are going to study, I'm always putting an S on the end. And it could be es, es, as, or for this as. Okay, it's all very similar. So I end up with comes, estudas, vais comer, vais estudar. If I want to say he eats, he studies, he's going to eat, he's going to study, I'm having an E or an A or for this one, just the I on the end. So come, estuda, vai comer, vai estudar. Okay? For we eat, we study, we're going to eat, we're going to study. We're putting emos or amos on the end. Comemos, estudamos, vamos comer, vamos estudar. And for they eat, they study, they're going to eat, they're going to study. We put em, pronounced ein, am, pronounced ão, or ao with the teal, also pronounced ão. Comem, estudam, vão comer, vão estudar. Okay? Coming from English, this is quite confusing because we don't need to vary our endings in the verbs so much because we use the pronouns and we rely on the pronouns. The I, the you, the he, etc. is always there to tell us who we're talking about. However, in Portuguese, these pronouns, we don't need them because we've changed the ending. So very often we don't bother with them. So this is what I've explained here. In English, there's little variation in the verb forms. So the pronoun, the I, you, he, these words here, cannot be omitted. Otherwise, we've got no idea who we're talking about. In Portuguese, these endings, the u, the es, the a, the amos, the ão, etc., usually make it clear exactly who I'm talking about, who's doing the action. So, because we tend to like to be concise in language, the pronoun, eu, tu, el, is usually omitted. Okay? Okay, So when we're talking about the future, we can either use the present tense, the words like como, estudamos, or we can use the vou comer, vamos estudar form. And if I choose to use the second form, the vou comer, vamos estudar, we're getting two verbs together there. And like in English, when we've got two verbs together, the second stays in the root form. And in Portuguese, root form always has an R at the end. Okay, so let's practice this. Let's get you working with these verbs a bit. So you're going to switch these words, estudo, falamos, comprar, compram, lavas, and prepara for the correct form with vou, vais, vai, vamos, vão. If you find this difficult, look at the examples above. So for example, here I've got estudo. Here I've got estudo. And so I've matched it up with vou estudar. So that's exactly what you're going to do here. Estudo para o exame, vou estudar para o exame. Okay, so the second one, I've got falamos. So that one is very similar to these ones. Comemos, estudamos. So yeah, you've got it. We're going to write vamos, and then we'll change falamos back to falar. Vamos falar com a professora. This one, elas compram no dicionário. So compram, that's similar to this one, isn't it? These ones, comem, estudam. So therefore, yeah, we're going to say vão comprar. So elas vão comprar dicionário. Lavas o carro. Lavas, that's like these ones here. Comes, estudas. So that becomes vais lavar. And then ela prepara a salada. That one is like the he, isn't it? Estuda. So it becomes ela vai preparar. Okay? Tá bem. Okay then, the answers are at the end if you want to double check. Right then, what we've also studied this month is more prepositions. This time, how they make the pronouns change. So we've got these words, new words, that we use when we've got com. So comigo, contigo, consigo. Com ele, com ela stays the same. Conosco, for nós. Com vocês, with vocês. Convosco, if you're using the senhores, senhoras. Com eles, com elas stays the same. And then if I want to put from me to you, without him, until them, for you guys, etc., I need to often change my pronoun, especially these first three. Me, ti, si. Okay. The others stay the same. Okay. Some nice examples here. Vais comigo à festa? Sim, vou contigo. You coming with me to the party? Yes, I'll come with you. Espera por mim. Deixe consigo no elevador. Wait for me. I'll go down with you in the lift. Meus senhores, posso contar convosco para a inauguração? Claro, conte conosco. Gentlemen, can I count on you, sirs, for the opening ceremony? Of course, you can count on us. Trouxe este presente para ti. Para mim, muito obrigado. I brought this present for you. For me, thank you very much. Okay? So now let's finish off with some listening here. We've got some short sentences and there's two possible responses. Imagine someone was saying these sentences to you. What would you say back? So, for example, one could be com Paulo de carro. Two could be desculpa de nada. Três could be está bem, fica bem. Do you remember fica bem? Be good, stay well. 4. Que bonito ou boa sorte. 5. Que be quero ou tanto faz. Tanto faz, whichever, whatever, I don't mind. Let's listen.
Como é que vais ao Porto?
2,
Tu não podes fazer isso.
3,
Vamos entrar neste museu.
4,
Este é o meu carro.
5.
Queres tinto ou branco?
Okay, now we're going to listen to 2 short dialogues. Each one has 1 question. Okay, so a casa é grande, tem muitas divisões, divisions, rooms, tem muito espaço. And for the second dialogue, os amigos vão ao Museu de Transportes, vão ao Museu de Arte Moderna ou não vão ao museu nenhum.
1.
O agente diz que esta casa é grande, mas não é nada.
Pois não. Tem muitas divisões, isso sim, mas são todas muito pequenas. Não há espaço nenhum aqui.
2. Pedro, conheces o Museu dos Transportes?
Conheço sim, fica perto da minha casa, mas não acho muito interessante. Prefiro o Museu de Arte Moderna.
Pois claro que preferes. Tu és pintor?
Okay, so there you go. That's all for now. I'll see you next week. Happy studying. Any questions, get in touch or email. Remember, this is the last lesson of the month. If you want to sign up for next month, if you haven't already, get in touch. Drop me an email. Okay then. So, ciao for now.